Good morning, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Heidi Foy with Foy Real Estate. Keep hanging with us. We're going to talk with Dave Kalinowski in just a little bit with a viewer question about one level living. All right, we are back. So for those of you that are not, let me adjust my camera here a little bit. There we go. For those of you that are not familiar with Dave, Dave is retired.
Yes.
Very nice. I have a couple of family members that are also retired.
Living the dream.
We don't talk this time of year because they're in Arizona and they send pictures. We don't want that. So anyways, Dave is retired, but is formerly with Masters Construction. So clearly has some knowledge that we want to pass on to you guys. Dave, talk to me a little bit. One of our viewers asked, why are there not more one-level houses for those that are looking for no stairs, maybe are at that age bracket that they don't want to have to worry about slips and trips and falls. So why can't we find that in this market?
Well, I think there's a number of reasons, but let me kind of narrow it down to two or three.
Okay.
First of all, land is a premium around here, and so we only have a couple developers, and a lot of the developers that are the ones that do develop generally make it exclusive, so they're not necessarily opening it up to a lot of builders. So there's no competition in terms of having a big developer come in and do an area where specifically just for retired people, right? So that makes land expensive.
Right.
And so your lots are smaller and people are trying to get as much home on those lots. And in Wyoming, I found that most people wanted to have a single level with a full basement.
Yes.
So then you're spending money for people that are looking for one level living on things that cost raises the price.
Yeah.
And people want as much area on the main level to live in, and then have bedrooms upstairs, or the least expensive way to provide double your square footage is to remodel your basement.
Right, right. So one of the things we talked about is, you really have to use your footprint wisely if you want a yard, if you want anything in the front yard or the backyard, or even the side yard. And when you are looking at one level living, obviously you said, the lots are a little bit smaller, so it limits. So then if you do build that one level living on that smaller lot, you're looking at 1,300 square foot homes, which is maybe not quite big enough for that one level living. So the lot size definitely is coming into play. And again, for those developers that are building, to get their money back out of the money they're spending on the lot, you want to build as much house as you can. So unfortunately, I mean, it is the world we live in, but the money and the return on the investment for the developer, it has to be there or it's not going to work.
Right. And it also limits your potential of selling the home. If you're just looking at a relatively small group of people, because most families are going to want as much house as they could possibly get.
Yes. And a backyard because the kids have to go outside.
Right. So for those who are retired and looking for smaller places, patio homes, that kind of a thing, then you're leaving out a vast majority of people. And if you're building spec homes, then most builders are going to go, oh, gosh, I just want to make it so that I can get, from A to Z rather than just, so those are the big problems I see for a lot of builders. And one other thing, we tried to build some patio homes that were twin homes,
right?
So that you could take better advantage of the lots, and not have that setback in between. But there again, Wyoming people don't seem to like to have their neighbors that close.
Yes.
Even if they're only there for a short period of time.
Yep.
And so, so there was some issues as a builder that you just felt like, I just didn't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah. I mean, I think and something that I didn't think about, we talked about it earlier, is that that footprint, no matter what type of house you
Right.
plan on building on that land.
Right.
It's not like they're going, oh, you're only building one level. Okay, we'll sell it to you for this much.
Right.
You know, you're getting it at this premium rate, no matter what you plan on putting on the property. And
Absolutely.
I mean, it kind of all comes down to that return on your investment.
Right. I have two a daughter and a son who just bought homes not too long ago, and on the main level they have kind of 3 bedrooms, you know, 2 bedrooms, a master, and one you can live in, and then one that's kind of like an office type thing. But gosh, to have a family room, they got to have it in the basement.
Yep.
And so, you know, it really limits when you're talking about a small footprint. So
yes, perfect. Well, thank you guys so much. We're running real short on time today. Look at that. We want to keep these real short and simple. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask about real estate, remodels, or anything remotely close, give us a shout out. You can comment in our comment section or shoot me a message anywhere. Facebook, we're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all the places. If you guys have any other questions that you would like us to answer on Q&A Thursday, thank you, Dave, so much for your time. I appreciate you coming in. You better get out of here because somebody might put you to work.
that's right. I wouldn't mind doing that.
Doing that. All right, you guys have a great week, and we will see you next week.